नमस्ते बिटियाओं, सदा खुश रहिए और स्वस्थ रहिए। माई सेल्फ JVN ब्रिजेश कुमार यादव, फैकल्टी ऑफ एजुकेशन एंड मेथडोलॉजी, ज्योति विद्यापीठ वुमेंस यूनिवर्सिटी जयपुर. I welcome to all of you in my digital class. Students, I have prepared this lecture for BSc B.Ed ZBC 6M students. Paper is botany, name is plant physiology, topic is transpiration. Students, on last term we have seen some of the facts related to transpiration. Today we are going to see the mechanism, the factors of transpiration, anti-transpirants. Okay, so let's start today's lecture from the mechanism of transpiration. Students, as you can see in the diagram, there are 3 points. There is a plant which is in soil, first step, second step and third step. There are 3 basic steps of transpiration. Okay, first one is the interaction of water with the root. Students, I have already explained that there is a particular water that is known as capillary water that is going to be absorbed by plant roots. Now this water entered into the roots now will move throughout the plant's body, stem, by the xylem, you all know, and last one is the evaporation. So water is passively transported into the roots, that is the first stem, then into the xylem, second step. In second step, the force of cohesion and adhesion, these are the 2 forces which cause the water molecule to form a column in the xylem. Okay, because of these 2 forces, the water maintained in the plant body and keep moving from one place to another place. Now water moves from the xylem into the mesophyll, that is the last step of water movement, evaporates from their surfaces and leaves the plant body by diffusion, that is the through the stomata. So these are the 3 different steps by which this transpiration carried out. Now these 3 basic steps, first one is absorption of the capillary water by the roots, this is the first and initial step, and second is capillary action in the xylem vessel, that is because of cohesion and adhesion forces, and third step is that is the transpiration, evaporation at the leaf level. Okay, so these are the 3 basics steps and that combine to perform the process of transpiration. Now how can we measure this transpiration? So there are 3 methods have been developed by the scientist. You might be knowing Stephen Hales. Okay, this scientist is very well known in the field of plant physiology, and I have already told that he is the father of plant physiology. So being a plant physiology student, you must remember some of the scientists who has done what kind of experiments. Okay, then these are the 3 different methods. First one is by weighting potted plants, second is potometer, and third is by measuring the humidity of air. So out of these 3 students, second one is most important, that is potometer. And being a plant physiology student, you must remember some of the equipments, scales, instruments which are being used for what purpose. Okay, so this is one of the instrument, potometer, which used to to estimate transpiration rate. This is nothing but a setup. Here I have explained the setup of potometer. It is a S-shaped test tube, and which will be filled by water. At one end of this tube, you can keep your plants which you are going to measure the transpiration rate, and other end of this tube there will be a beaker, and this beaker is filled with water. In between these there is a ruler where marks of that readings are there, and reservoir. Now you can cut or put any anti-transparent, so that there is a difference and fluctuation of air bubble, and you can measure in this way the rate of transpiration that is increasing or decreasing. Okay, so this is an instrument. Now we are moving towards the factors which are responsible or which are affecting the transpiration process. So there are two main factors. One is intrinsic factors, that is biotic factors, and other is extrinsic, that is environmental. So in intrinsic means plant related, such as stomata, that mesophyll cells, age of plant. So these are the factors of plants which are going to affect this process. How they are going to affect, let's have a look in detail. Suppose there is a plant factors, plant parameter. So in plant parameter, first and foremost parameter is stomata. As you all know, students, this stomata contribute nearly 90% or more than 90% of transpiration. So this is one of the important biotic factor. What kind of stomata is there, how they are arranged in leaves, number of stomata. Suppose that when stomata are open, you all know transpiration rate will be increased, and when stomata is closed, then transpiration will be reduced. Okay. Second is the number of stomata. If more number of stomata will be there, then more transpiration will be there. Okay. And number of leaves, if more number of leaves or bigger leaves are there, then leaf area will be more, that leads to more transpiration. Okay. Next one is another biotic parameter is cuticle. Means this cuticle also participate in transpiration. So as much as thicker the cuticle, there is a less transpiration rate. Means this thick layer of cuticle prevent the evaporation of water from the leaves. So there is a no transpiration rate are reduced, a slower rate of transpiration when that cuticle layer will be thick. If thin, then it will be increased. Next is leaf area, that is transpiring area. A plant with large leaf area will show more transpiration than another plant with less leaf area. Another parameter is root shoot ratio. A low root shoot ratio decreases the rate of transpiration, while a high rate of transpiration increase the rate of transpiration. Okay, these are the some of the intrinsic. Another one is mesophyll. That when that mesophyll, you know, students, this is the tissue which are found in the leaves. Okay, upper epidermis, you might be remembering that upper epidermis is there. When you study the anatomy of leaf, you will find upper epidermis, lower epidermis, and in between these two there is a mesophyll cells. Okay, when this mesophyll tissues are compactly arranged, that will reduce the transpiration, while the loose mesophyll increase the rate of transpiration. And another is leaf modifications. As we have already discussed, there is a modification of leaves which are specifically for the reduction of that transpiration. Means formation of prickles, leaf spines, scaly leaves, phalloclades. These are the some of the modifications of leaves which are found specifically in xerophytic plants, just for the sake of the reduction of transpiration, so that they can consume their water as much as possible. Okay, so these are some of the factors of plants which affect transpiration. Now some of the environmental factors which are going to affect transpiration. So in this case, first and foremost is light intensity. As the graph showing that the rate of transpiration with the light intensity. When you increase the light intensity, there is a slightly increase in the rate of transpiration, but at some extent this is the increasement, otherwise it will get in steady mode, means there is no increase in the rate of respiration and transpiration when you increase the light intensity. Okay, second environmental factor is humidity, that is okay. We can see here in the graph that as you increase the humidity, there is a decrease in that increase in sorry there is a increase humidity and increase in rate of transpiration, means there is a correlation. Next one is temperature. You can see there is a increase in the temperature and there is a increase of transpiration, so that is the direct that is proportional to the rate of transpiration. Another is wind also going to affect the rate of transpiration. When you increase the wind speed, if there is a more wind speed, then more rate of transpiration. Now another topic in continuation of this transpiration is anti-transpirant in your syllabus. What is anti-transpirant? Means all those materials which prevent transpiration. This is the simplest way to explain anti-transpirants. Or any device, any material, biotic or abiotic, that going to prevent transpiration or reduce transpiration. And this is mainly useful for reducing the transplantation shock of nursery plants. When in horticultural plants, somebody is transplanting the plants, but it is not survived due to the loss of water. Okay, so in this way anti-transpirant used to reduce transpiration. Now we are going to see some of the types of anti-transpirants. First one is instrumental closing types. Okay, those chemical those device, those parameters which are going to close stomata that leads to reduce the transpiration. So what are those? Some of the fungicides like PMA, phenyl mercury acetate, and other herbicides like atrazine. They are the used being used to lower the stomatal rate of respiration, that reduce the injection of stomatal closening. These reduce the photosynthesis in other way. PMA was found to decrease transpiration than photosynthesis. Apart from these two anti-transpirants, ABA, you might be knowing that this is a plant hormones. Okay, this is frequently used in stomata closening. It has mechanism. I'm not going to into the detail. Okay, so you remember it. Second one is film forming type. Anything which form a thick layer on the aerial surface of plant, so that there is no transpiration. So any plastic or waxy material which form a thin layer on the leaf surface, so that reduction of transpiration rate and photosynthesis. Some of the examples of this film forming types are silicon oils, ethyl alcohol, polyvinyl chlorides, polyethylene, and polypropylene. These are the film forming types. And third one is reflectant type. Anything that reflect the light, white material which form a coating on the leaves and increase the leaf reflectance. Okay, that is called as albedo. They also going to reduce rate of transpiration. Some of the examples of reflectance are kaolin, is produce transpiration loss, diatomaceous earth, salates, hydrated limes, calcium. These are the some of the examples which can be applied over the plant, so that there is a reduce level of reduced rate of transpiration. Okay, so these are some of the anti-transpirants. So students, in this way excuse me, we have seen that what is transpiration, what kind of transpiration, what is the mechanism of transpiration, what are those factors, what are the instruments to measure transpiration rate, and anti-transpirants. Okay, so in this way we have finished our this topic. On next turn we will meet with some new topics. Okay, thank you.